I just finished Michael Connelly's newest novel, and I have a confession. The plot was layered, the crimes were unmistakably his. But when I closed the book, I felt something I never expected to feel when reading Connelly. I did not miss the main character. And honestly, that bothered me more than any bad book ever could. Welcome back to Fireside Writer. I'm TJ Stecker, former naval flight officer, Pentagon attorney, who is now writing crime fiction and chasing publication right alongside you. Today, we're talking about the master, Michael Connelly. For anyone new to him, Michael Connelly is the man behind Harry Bosch and Mickey Haller. He is around 40 books deep into one of the greatest careers in the game. He spent years as a crime reporter before he ever wrote fiction, and you can feel that newsroom discipline in every sentence he writes. He does not waste your time, and I've learned more pacing from him than I have from any craft book on my shelf. So this is going to be part love letter and part hard question, because his latest book, Nightshade, made me realize that Michael Connelly is facing the same question any longtime career novelist faces. What do you do when your best character is behind you? First, a little context, because you cannot understand who Connelly is without understanding where he came from. He covered the crime beat in Florida and then the Los Angeles Times. But then in 1992, he published a book called Black Echo and introduced the world to Harry Bosch, and he never looked back. So if you want to hear about Connelly talk about his writing in his own words, two places are gold. His own site at michaelconnelly.com has interviews and essays, and almost any long-form podcast interview he's ever done will have him talking about Raymond Chandler. So hold on to that Chandler thread because it matters for the book we're about to discuss. So, Nightshade. This is the first book in a brand new series, and Connelly does something interesting right away. He leaves Los Angeles behind. Our new lead is a sheriff's detective named Stillwell. He has been pushed out of a mainland homicide job after clashing with a colleague, and he has landed on Catalina Island, where the worst he usually has to deal with is a drunk tourist or a stolen golf cart. But then a body turns up in the harbor, a woman weighed down and dumped in the water. At the same time, he's working a poaching case, which pulls him into the same orbit as a powerful island figure. Watching Connelly braid those two plots together is a genuine pleasure. The man can still plot circles around writers half his age. The mechanics are flawless. But here's my problem. I never felt for Stillwell the same way I did for Harry Bosch. The plot pulled me forward, but the man behind it stayed at arm's length. There is a follow-up already out, and I have not read it yet. So maybe Stillwell deepens. But on the strength of this one book, I felt the gears turning more than I did a heartbeat. Real quick, because this next part is where it gets interesting. If you're getting something out of this kind of breakdown, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I put these out every week, and I'm building the channel for writers like you. Okay, so why does this keep happening to Connelly? This is where I have to be honest. This is not the first time I've felt this with late career Connelly. Every detective he's built since Bosch seems to be reaching for the same magic but falls just short. Take Renee Ballard. On paper, she should work, but her angst to me always feels misplaced rather than earned. The wounds get stated more than they were ever lived. Or go back to Terry McCaleb, the heart transplant FBI man living on Catalina. And there's something I love. Connelly has now set two different characters living on the same island. McCaleb had a real backstory and a real pulse, and Connelly killed him off after only 3 books. It's like he keeps building someone promising and then can't quite let them carry the weight that Bosch once carried. Now let me be clear, Connelly has earned every bit of his success, the bestsellers and the screen adaptations both. I am not here to take a single thing away from him. Nightshade is a good book by a great writer. The craft is all there, but what is missing is the spark. So if I could whisper one idea to him, here it is. Stop searching for the next Bosch. Go back and give us more of the original. Before the Black Echo, Harry spent years on robbery homicide, working cases we only ever hear about secondhand in the later books. Write the prequel, write 2, give us young Bosch in that world, because clearly Connelly is having a hard time letting that character go, and the readers never wanted him to. Now one more thing I caught, and this is the kind of detail I live for. The case in Nightshade keeps circling back to the woman pulled from the water. Connelly calls it the woman in the water case. Now think about Raymond Chandler, Connelly's hero. One of his most famous novels is The Lady in the Lake, a woman dead in the water. And I don't believe that echo is an accident. So how does all of this show up in my own work? In one rule I took straight from Connelly and never gave back. The case has to matter, and it has to matter to the person solving it. In Redacted, my lead, Jeff Coburn, is a flight officer digging into a Pentagon cover-up, and the investigation is about whether he can stand to learn the truth about the people he trusted. In The Moth, my deputy, Jolene Coburn, is hunting a vigilante while fighting her past in the same small town that made her. Neither of them is just doing the job. That is the Bosch lesson. Everybody counts or nobody counts. So if that idea is your kind of thing, I send weekly newsletters out where I go deeper on craft and share where I am in my own publishing journey. You can sign up over at tjstecker.com. It's free and it's the best way to follow along. So that is my take on Michael Connelly and Nightshade. Do you feel the same way about his post-Bosch characters? Or am I being too hard on a man who gave us 40 great books? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for being here. Now go write something. I'll see you by the fire.